Good evening, Tom Barter, Planning Ops for the Cameron Peak Fire, and this is your evening update for Tuesday, September 8th. A little bit about the fire. We had this tremendous growth yesterday and yesterday evening. Yesterday evening, a cold front did drop into the area right around between 21 and 2200. What that cold front did is it did switch the winds around to the northeast, so I had a bit of an east component on it, and the relative humidity values immediately shot up. So it stopped a lot of this eastern push on the fire. We didn't get a big any other push from it when those east winds, so the fire pretty well stopped for the most part right here last night. The fire did receive snow pretty much on the whole thing last night. This morning or today up here at around DP 375 at Station 2, I'd say they got about 5 inches, and a lot of that's heavy wet snow. So what that did for today, what we are now doing for the day is crews did get up this morning. The night shift was watching this stuff all night, but then this morning crews got up and started looking at this new perimeter and this looking at new avenues of where we can start working this fire. So with the new growth on this fire, we're now looking at other opportunities that we can assess and try to get a little closer to this fire in places when we're going to try to go direct. With the moisture we've got and the cooler temperatures, it's supposed to last a little longer. The last round of precip we got in those 2 days when it received quite a bit, following that last precip, the relative humidity values dropped pretty quickly right back down to those really critical values. With this system we have, we're going to get the snow on it to help persist a little bit, and the relative humidity in the weather is going to slowly come back up. So we'll be drier by the weekend, but it's not going to be as rapid as it was with the thunderstorms we had a week or so ago. So what that's going to do is we're going to be assessing where we can go more direct with these lines. And so that's what the crews are doing today, up in the snow, trying to get around where they could. As I mentioned, there was 5 inches of snow on these roads, but they're out there looking. They're looking, this part of the fire here bumped into the High Park scar, and that's lighter fuel. There's not as much heavy timber there. So we're going to be looking at areas where we can start picking some of this stuff up direct. We'll be looking at that in here. Up along the top here, that's some more favorable terrain where we can get people. So we'll be looking at other areas where we can get much closer to this thing. Over here on the northern edge up above below Foxtrot, we'll be getting crews in there and assessing where we can bring this out now with those moderated conditions. So that's the plan for today and tomorrow, is trying to get new lines identified, assessed, and then get crews working in there probably within the next day or two, getting them working these lines. The other thing we have going for us is some of these other larger fires in Colorado, they have started to decline. We've started to get some more of those resources. So that's the other thing that's different now about being able to go more direct on this incident, is we're starting to get more resources. Before, we didn't quite have as many resources that we could plug into some of this stuff. We had to make some priorities and some decisions on where we could put line and thought we could be successful. We're now getting more resources. We're getting some moderated weather, and this fire is in some other terrain that's a little more favorable for us to get to. So we will be looking at other areas where we can get more direct on this thing and try to keep this fire at a closer footprint to what it is now. And that's your update for September 8th.